We're live. Woohoo!
Yes. Well, it's not quite Happy St. Patrick's Day, is it?
No, but
When is it?
I think it's Monday, and the folks that are celebrating St. Patrick's Day are all having a lovely day off. So we're going to do the lesson today.
Exactly. But you know why St. Patrick's Day is so special to me?
Uh, no, tell me, Dom.
Because it was my lovely Irish grandmother's birthday.
No way.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
my old granny. Oh,
what a
never called her
cool,
granny. I called her grandma. Always called her grandma. Angela. She's
what
completely bananas.
what a brilliant day for an Irish person to have their birthday.
Yeah,
On
I know.
immense.
And
I love that.
Yeah, I know. And it's only been this year that I've actually remembered that it's my grandma's birthday because every single year my mum texts me and says, it's grandma's birthday today, St. Patrick's Day.
Ah.
And I'm like, oh, of course it is. But I remembered this year.
So, what was her surname then, Dom? Did she have a really cool Irish?
McGinn.
Ah,
McGinn.
yes.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah, I know. And she also married a Kennedy as well. So that
Oh,
was which is a funny one, yeah. But
hey,
oh yeah, she
the
was
pedigree you've got, eh? Huh? Come on.
oh, you tell me, you're telling me she was born in Dundalk, she lived in Belfast, she lived in Omagh, she lived in Enniskillen, she was all around the place,
No.
non-stop.
Hey, now then, let us know, guys, which schools are joining us today. So send us a message either on YouTube or on StreamYard, or teachers.
They can email me. They can
You can
email me.
email Dom. He's got his inbox open. Email Dom back, and we'll get your shout outs up on screen for this special Adobe Digital Leaders session for St. Patrick's Day. So I hope you're all settled in and sitting comfortably and logged into Express. We've got a fun challenge ahead of us. Remember about the Film Fest as well. That's the Adobe Express Film Fest. Information about that can be found on that link that's on the screen there right now, bit.ly/filmfest25. You've got about a week and a half left to get involved. There's loads of tutorials there to help you out. Right, let's have a look at today's challenge page. Now, you're all going to need today's challenge page because we're using a template today, guys. A template is kind of a helping start for us to get started on Express. So to get to the challenge page, it's scrolling along at the bottom of the screen there. You can see adobe.ly, otherwise known as Adobe, adobe.ly/Patrick25. And it'll bring you to this challenge page that we've got on the screen right now. You could also, if you want, scan this lovely QR code that's up on your whiteboard. That'll bring you along to here as well. So whilst everyone's getting the challenge page open, Dom, what's rule number one?
Rule number one is that Miss Berry in St. Columkills, Rutherglen, Glasgow is here.
Yes. Welcome to you.
Love that. Welcome to you, Miss Berry.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you know that there is a sneaking suspicion that St. Patrick was in fact a Scotsman?
Well, I'm gonna.
You like that, did you?
I'm gonna rage quit in a minute because St. Patrick was. Well, he was a Welshman. I'm afraid,
Well, there is definitely some confusion there. He actually Strathclyde comes up very often. In fact,
yeah, it does. It does. Where back in the time of St. Patrick, everybody spoke Welsh. So maybe we're both right. Right. Okay.
So, is it normal for a Welshman to claim everything on the face of planet Earth?
Yes,
it is for this Welshman, the one just up there.
Yeah, Mount Everest, named after a Welshman. That's true, see? Right. It's true. It's true. It's true. It's the truth.
Did you know that Marmite is actually a Welsh word?
It's not.
No, it's not. Right, we're going to go through the rules. Pause if you want. If we're going a little bit too fast, you can pause us whenever you like and just catch up, and that's absolutely fine. And then press play again when you're ready to go. But we are going to go back and forth between myself and the man upstairs there, who's in the top bunk. So, if you need to, you can pause whenever you like. Number 2, claim a certificate. Do you know what? I think this might be the first one in a while that I still need to do a certificate for. Let me just check. But anyway, at the end of this session, oh no, it's there. Gosh, I'm so good these days.
Well done. Good on you.
Yeah, I know. That's good crack. then everyone who's doing this session can get a certificate, because I'm just generous like that. That's the way it is, like a pot of gold at the end of a rainbow. And then number 3 is a pizza party. There is literally a school where the pizza is literally about to arrive right now. Queensferry County Primary in North Wales. Your pizza is steaming hot straight out of the oven. Listen, you know what they got? They got
pepperoni,
3 margaritas, 2 pepperonis, and a Hawaii pizza.
Oh, yes. It's a great mix. It's a great.
Yeah, no, that is a great mix.
And that's just for the teacher.
Mr. Burns, he's an absolute legend. Right, come on, let's get back on St. Patrick.
Yeah, I think it's you that took us off St. Patrick, to be fair. Right. For this, you're going to need to open up the template. Okay, so if you open up the challenge page and scroll,
there we go.
Yep. And scroll down to challenge 1, we're going to be working on a St. Patrick's Day timeline, and you can see there on the right-hand side. We're going to start off with that timeline overview template, and then we are going to repurpose it into a timeline of St. Patrick's life and times.
Repurpose?
Yes, you need to be logged into Express. So I'm on the iPad and Dom's on the browser. So the first thing we're going to show you is just how to get this template open in Express. Okay, so on the iPad, you can see I've got these 2 apps open. I've got Chrome, so maybe you're on Safari. That doesn't make any difference. But then I've also got Adobe Express.
Safari.
Yeah, so I've got Express. I've got Express open. Okay, here we go. I'm just logged in. So you need to make sure that you've logged into the Express app. Okay, this is slightly easier on the browser, as Dom will show you now. So fine, I'm logged into Express. Now I can go back over to my browser where I've got the challenge page. Right, let's click on that button that says Timeline Template Project. Okay, let's give that a tap, and it's going to open up.
Zoom, that.
Thanks very much.
This is a wonderful Zoom.
I practiced that this morning.
That's the best Zoom you've done in probably 6 months.
They don't call me Zoom Jones for nothing. They don't call me Zoom Jones at all, right? So there's the template, okay? And you can see there in the bottom right-hand corner, there's the blue remix button. Now on the browser, that button's actually up in the top right-hand corner, funnily enough, as you'll see now. So when I tap that, it's going to then pop up this little window saying it's trying to open another app. So that's fine, allow. Now, it'll either take you straight into Express, like it's done with me, and open up the template, absolutely perfect. Sometimes it'll take you into the App Store, okay, show you the Adobe Express app in the App Store, and you just need to tap open, and then it'll bring you to here.
Okay.
But most of the time, it'll do exactly what just happened with me. It'll bring you straight into the template. Right. So let's just jump over to Dom, who's going to show us how to get the template up and running. So I'll take me off and let's put Dom up on screen.
Right. Okay. I feel like I've run about 9 miles with you on that there. Right. What are we going to do here? Well, you can see I'm on my challenge page. And I'm in Chrome, but I could be in Safari. And then I'll go timeline template project. Give it a click. Hang on a minute. Oh,
yeah.
Oh no. Yeah. Give it a click. And it's just going to open it up. And then you can see Mr. Jones had it in the bottom right there.
Whoa. You need to share it.
Yeah, in the bottom right down here. But I've got one up here. And from what I can read, it doesn't say remix. It says remix. So I'm going to click that. And then it just opens up. And all of that nonsense that Mr. Jones did.
Yeah.
Gone away.
It's a bit simpler on the browser. Yeah. Okay, great. Now, if for some reason you're having trouble with that, you can actually find this template super quick from the Express homepage by just searching at the top of the Express homepage for timeline overview. And it's kind of the 4th or 5th one in there. Okay, so if you're having trouble with the button, you could search and then scroll down.
Yeah, dead easy.
Scroll down. There it is. It's there. You see, it's that one at the 6th along.
Yours.
What's that?
Are we on my screen here?
Yeah, we're on your screen. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it's right there. Dead easy. Timeline overview.
Yeah, but use the button on the page if you can.
Yeah.
Not you. If you're having trouble, you can find it just by searching timeline overview. Right. Okay. So hopefully you've all Hopefully you've all got your timelines up, open, and ready to go. Right. The first thing we need to do is we need to Irishify this timeline project.
Whoa!
So
steady on.
We do. You need to
on.
Need to Irish it up. So
Irish it up.
Yeah, we're gonna start off with the background.
As a proud passport holder, I'm not sure what I think about that.
Well, I didn't say anything bad. Irish it up. Irishify it. What's wrong with that?
Irishify it.
That's nothing wrong with that. Oh, the stuff you say every week. I don't know what you're having. Right. So let's look at our backgrounds. So I'm going to go to elements on the left-hand side, near the bottom of the list on the left-hand side.
Elements.
So we're going to search backgrounds. This is backgrounds, and I'm just going to search. Hey, have you noticed this new feature that suggests based on what you've got? Okay, which is amazing. Because. Anyway, we'll see more about that later. So I'm going to search in here, Ireland. Okay, and search. And here we go. We got all of these different backgrounds to choose from. So you can tap on one to try it out. And then you can tap on another one to try that out. Tap on another one. So you can just tap.
Oh, that was nice. I like that one.
Yeah, I think that is a nice one. So tap through and pick a background that you think is going to work well on your design. And I need to make a decision now so that we move ahead. So I'm going to go with this one. There we go. The next thing we can do before passing over to Dom is change our color theme for this timeline template. So to change the color theme, on the top ribbon, you can see those icons. Now on the browser, they've actually got little labels next to them, and you want the one that says theme. And it's the second one across that looks like an artist's paint palette. So if I tap on that icon, you can see the current page theme is this kind of blue, turquoise, white light. So it's nice, but it's not really very Irish. So it's searching for Ireland. I'm not going to search for an Ireland color theme. I am going to, however, type in here some colors that I think of when I think of St. Patrick. And I think of greens and gold when I think of St. Patrick. So I'm going to type in here green, gold. Okay.
And orange.
Yeah, you could put all. Yeah, we could have done that. Yeah, and it'll just show you loads of color themes with those colors in them. So I'm going to pick one of these.
Oh, there's one right there. I just seen it. That's beauty.
That's the one I like. This one here. And then the last thing I'm going to do is go back up to the top of this panel. You see now that it's got my chosen page theme at the top there. I'm just going to hit this shuffle button and go around until I get the kind of layout that I'm most happy with. Do I want those shapes to be dark? Because there was one with a dark green that looked quite nice. Or do I want them to be light? There we go. I quite like that. I'm not sure about the text, but you can always make changes later on. But I think that's my favorite starting point as a color theme. Right, Dom, let's get a background and let's get a color theme chosen.
Okie dokie. So I thought I'd just go from here again, if you need to. Timeline template project. The button is just there. Give it a clickety click. Then it'll open up here. You've got the remix top right. Give that a click. And bish bash bosh. You are ready to rock and roll. Rock and roll. Okay, right. Let's give it a title. Let's go for Saint P Timeline.
Oh yeah, I didn't do it.
Never does. I got bored of asking for it. Right. Then I'm gonna get rid of that search thing. Not bothered about that. I'm gonna go to elements in the left-hand side here. Go to backgrounds, and then here. Did you just put Ireland in?
I did.
Do you know what Ireland actually means in Irish?
No.
It means New Cardiff.
You're just mocking me now, and I don't like it.
Okay, right. Let's see what we got here. I mean, I feel like you had better results than me, actually.
I had the same 35 as you, I think.
Oh, right. Yeah, I don't know. You know,
I think the third one down there is a lovely one, isn't it? Third one down there.
that one with that one or that
Oh,
one.
that one, yeah. I think it's quite nice. But
I think this one's cool. Love
yeah,
it.
it is cool. Like neon shamrock. It's great.
Yeah, neon shamrock.
Yeah.
Very
Good name for
Cardiff.
good name for a band, that.
Yeah, neon shamrock. That'd be pretty cool. And then we're gonna go to theme, which is just up here. That was good zoom in. And then I'm gonna go click it, and then in here, search for island. Oh, I'm gonna put green, gold, orange.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely. You know what? I think you actually found better. Oh, this one is the one.
Oh,
This is the
lovely.
one.
Oh, that's great.
And now if I shuffle, ooh,
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
oh, did you like that one? Which
Yeah.
one was it? Which one was it? Which one? Which one? That one. That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one. Yeah, I'm into that.
Cool.
Is there anything else I need to do?
That's it for now. That's it for now.
Great.
Right. Okay. Right. Let's move ahead. So let's get the title in. Okay. So this is St. Patrick's timeline. So tap on that timeline overview text box that we've got at the top there. Okay. And we want to change it. So I'm going to tap again to open up my keyboard, and I'm just going to type Saint. So just ST and a full stop. It's the abbreviated version of Saint. And then Patrick's, Patrick, apostrophe S, because it's his timeline. It belongs to him. St. Patrick's timeline. Okay, now then, we need to do a bit of tidying up here now. So I think I'm going to bring that up. I think I'd like Saint and Patrick's to be on the same line. So I'm going to use the long handle. There we go, to just change the actual shape of my text box. And now I can increase the size so that kind of fills the top a bit better. And now I can think about color, because that color isn't working, is it? It's not great.
It's not working for me.
No. It's not clear enough because the background is bright and the text is bright. They're too similar in terms of brightness. So on the left-hand side, you can see the font color in that little square over here. You can see this little square here, like a gold-colored square. So, no, other way, Dom. Other way.
What? Again?
Yes, other way.
Is that true? Is that real?
Yes.
Hang on a minute.
No. Yes, that way. Oh, look.
I've just changed my camera around now.
Look. You're the one playing around, and you'll be complaining to me when we go over time on this. So I'm gonna push ahead. Now I'm gonna tap on that colored square, and you can see there where it says page theme. I've got my actual theme colors there. Okay, so that's your first protocol. Is one of these gonna work? And I think that dark green is gonna work, and maybe I'll add an outline too. So let's bring up an outline. Maybe this can be in one of those shades of gold. Yeah, I think that one works nicely. Okay, final thing I can do is search for font. So I'm going to drop down, and I tell you what I've been getting a lot of joy with recently is not scrolling through these first fonts here, but actually going to more fonts right in the bottom right there. Okay, and then under the English font list, there's some in there that look new. They're different. So if you're a bit bored of all those fonts that have always been there,
Dynapuff.
Yeah, you know it. You know
it. Oh, was that what you were going to choose?
Yeah.
Dynapuff. That's amazing. Nice.
Yeah. So if you're bored of the normal fonts, there's a top tip for today. Go to more fonts under the you can go through all the languages, not just English. Anyway, Dom, sort out your title and sort out your font and your color and that whatnot.
Ooh.
Right. Go.
Okie dokie.
Okie days.
Alrighty. So we're just gonna go right to the top here with timeline overview. Triple tap 1, 2, 3. St. Patrick's timeline. Okay, so first things first, let's get it all onto one line. Well, not all onto one line, just get St. Patrick's all onto one line. Nice. Stretch it out a bit. go again so you see the pink line. Do you know
Yeah.
what? Sometimes I'm finding that it can actually be quite tricky to get the one that goes top to bottom. But that'll do. That's square up enough. Now, what was that top tip? It was come down here,
And then more
and
fonts.
then go to more font.
There we go. And
then,
there's just tons of new ones in here.
Yeah, pretty good. Let's see what else we got. I mean, Dynapuff. Have I gone past Dynapuff? I haven't got Dynapuff.
Oh, you haven't got Dynapuff.
What? I see it. It's right here. Yeah, back in your box. Right, let's go Dynapuff bold. There we go. That's amazing. Do you know what it reminds me of?
Yeah.
It reminds me of Mr. Men.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I might put a little outline on it actually. And my page theme, I've got little that doesn't make it very clear. Oh, the green does. That's lovely.
Lovely.
Yeah, beautiful.
Cool.
So I think I'm done now.
Yeah, you're done. Yeah, great. Right, back. So, days. Here we go. Right, now then, what we're going to do now, and maybe, Dom, you could do this at the same time as me. I don't think we need to watch us both doing this, is let's get the dates in. Okay, so let's jump back over to the challenge page. And I've got it on the tab here. So, funnily enough, St. Patrick wrote an autobiography, which is amazing. But even though he did that, nobody really knows for sure the dates that he was born and died and did stuff. So
you know what? If he'd have done it on Audible, people would have known it better, especially if he'd have done the recording himself.
If he'd have listened in class, he'd have put a date at the top of every page, wouldn't he? And then, but he didn't.
Yeah, I know.
So here's what most historians think his dates are. Other people think that they're kind of all 50 years older than this, earlier than this. But anyway, we're going to go with these. So we think that he was born in the year 389. Okay. So what we're going to do first now is just take the numbers from the challenge page over to Express. Now, we've also got all this stuff on a doc as well. So if you prefer to see these on a doc, scroll down to the bottom of the info. Okay. And on the iPad, I'm just going to open that in a new tab. And here we go. I've got all this. This is a bit easier for me to work with than scrolling on the challenge page. Right. So 389,405. Let's start. Let's get started.
I'll read them out for you.
Right. So I'm going to do the first one. Just tap on that number 1. This is 389. Done. The next one.
405.
405. Okay. And then the next one is 411.
411. Yeah. 411.
Then 413.
Then 427.
Yes. And then 461.
Wow, you know your dates.
7 and 461. Yeah.
Oh, I'm doing this at the same time, am I?
Well, I mean, you could. The other thing that I'll do then, whilst Dom's doing that, you carry on doing that now then, Dom. The other thing I'm going to do is, you see this kind of subheading that says, here is a detailed timeline of the topic in chronological order. We're going to grab this top bit here on the challenge page saying, despite him writing an autobiography, we are not certain of St. Patrick's dates. Here's what most historians think. So I'm going to copy, and that's what I'm going to use as this subheading. So I tap in there, triple tap to select all the text, and then down here next to Dom's head, you've got you've got cut, copy, and paste icons here above my keyboard. And it's the third one along that we need, the black clipboard with the white page, and that's just going to paste that text in. And I just need to resize this now so that it fits in that gap between the title and my first date. And just, play around with your resize tools to decide what works best. I'm not going to change that font. I think it's a nice clear font, but I am going to change the font color. And I think I'm going to add an outline once more to that to make it stand off the page a bit better. There we go. So How are you getting on, Dom? Have you done your numbers and your subtitle?
Well, let me do the subtitle just for a little recap while people are doing different stuff.
There you go.
Okie dokie. So I put all my numbers in. I did a bit of readjusting of like where they sit so that they sit in a nice straight line. But now what do I need to do? I need to go here, show this tab. Despite him writing an autobiography, we are not certain of St. Patrick's dates. Here's what most historians think. Okay, so go back here. And then I'll double click or triple click there, paste that in. Whoa, that's a lot. That's a lot. So I've just brought the size down until it's all on 3 lines there, and then I can pop that in the center. Yeah, there is perfect. You can see I've got the lines which tell me it's perfectly spaced above and below, and then the middle. But like Mr. Jones said, it can't, it sort of gets lost a bit with my background. I think you were finding a similar thing. So maybe I just need to put an outline on it, and maybe I can go and do that same green outline. Does that work? Maybe the orange one works quite nicely, actually.
Maybe it needs to be thicker.
Yeah, maybe I'll try that green, but just make the thickness up. No, you're kind of getting lost in the background. So I'll click it again and try the orange. 2 orange, the green. Perfect.
Yes, lovely.
I mean, lovely. The white's shocking, but there you go. That's great.
Lovely job. Right. Now then, let's go. So next, now that we need to get the information over about St. Patrick. Okay. What happened on these specific years? I mean, we've all guessed what happened on the first and the last one, I'm sure. But what happened, what happened in the middle ones? So now then, you would think that we're going to start with the first one, but we're actually not. Okay.
No.
Because we want to decide how big our text needs to be, because we want the same font size on these. So the best idea here is to start off with the biggest piece of text, okay, the one that's going to need the most room. So let's jump over to the challenge page. I'm on the doc. So which one of those is biggest? I'd say it's definitely that
411.
Yeah, 411. That's the biggest one. Okay, so I'm going to copy this fact that in the year 411, Patrick escaped from captivity, spoiler alert, and made his way back home to Wales. And but later that year, he went to the south of France, to the monastery at Lerins. Yeah, and joined the monastery.
Went to the south of France.
I know, yeah.
Like he was on some kind of Thomas Cook holiday.
Well, it's probably an upgrade on Wales, where he was from. So, right, I've copied that. Right, and that's that. So I need now to add a text block. So left-hand side, T for text, add your text, and I'm going to paste this in with the same icon that's there. It's the black clipboard with the white page. Tap. Now, that at the moment is the same color as the shape in the background, which is terrible.
Rubbish.
Let's change that. So my shape is that kind of pill shape, is a dark green. So obviously I'm going to want my text to be in one of the lighter colors. Okay. If you don't have lighter colors in your color scheme, then you could always just go to white. Okay. And the same for dark colors. Try one of the darker ones. But if it doesn't work, you could always go for black. Okay. I think that light cream is going to be just fine for me. So I'm going to stick with that. So now my job is to get that to fit as neatly as possible into the 411 box, because this is going to help me then to decide on the size of font for the rest of my project. There we go. So I've just been using the corner handles to change the font size, and then the long side handles to change my line breaks. Now, I don't want to fill all the way to the right-hand side because I want to keep some space there for some design assets, for some images, okay? So that, I think, works perfectly for me. And what I'm going to do now, whilst Dom does the same thing, is I'm just going to duplicate this, okay? 3 dots, duplicate. And I'm going to pop that into every one of my points in the timeline. Okay, just like this. And when you get back to me,
piece of info.
Yeah, and then
every single box.
And then when you get back to me, I'll show you how we're going to change that text for the correct text for each year.
This is radical. Okay, Right. So I'm going to go over here. I've already copied for what happened in 411. So I'm going to copy that there. Go back to this one. T for text. Add your text. Paste it in. It's way too big. So let's first of all just, do you know what? Let's just make it a lot smaller. I'm starting to not be able to see it. So let's zoom in a bit so you can see what's going on.
Zooming is a big help here. Don't try and do this without zooming in, guys. You struggle.
Yeah. And so I'm down to about 10 here on mine. And then, oh, come on. Come on, let me get my handle. Yeah, there we go. So maybe you say that we need a little space at the side. Is that right?
Yeah.
So maybe I'll bring it down to 9. Oh, that's nice. Is that okay? It's roughly around about there.
I'm on 11. If you just
you're on 11. I'm on 9 here. I did move my numbers across a little bit, so maybe it might.
Yeah,
but I think 9's pretty good.
It looks nice and neat with you there. I do like it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's good. So now that that's done, what Mr. Jones is saying is, with that text box selected, you can go to the 3 dots, duplicate, and then you just have to do that in all of them, basically. So you might need to kind of go in and try and like censor it, basically. But do it on all of them, and you don't have to watch me do that. You can take over whenever you like, Mr. Jones.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, so once you've done that, as you can see, I've got all of mine here. Then that's all we need to do, of course, is swap out the text in each box. Okay, so the 411 one is already done, but I need to change all the rest. So that's all I'm going to do is go back and forth. So the first one is this, approximate year of St. Patrick's birth. So we think he was born in the year 389. And that's right at the end of the Roman occupation in Britain. So over here next to me, we're going to tap on that paste icon. So the Romans had to leave. The Roman soldiers all left because Rome was under threat. And they'd been here for hundreds of years, and they just kind of up and went because they needed to go back and defend Rome unsuccessfully. And everyone who lived in the British Isles in Britain was left to their own devices. Anyway, I digress.
Oh, hang on.
You know,
we slowly lost sight of you because the soapbox was out somewhere.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. So then in 405, when St. Patrick was about 16 years old, and he says this himself, that he was 16 years old in his autobiography. He said, when I was 16, I was captured from my home.
By who?
By Irish raiders.
Oh, yeah.
Taken back to Ireland as a slave.
Oh, yeah.
And he was a slave in Ireland for 6 years, mainly working as a shepherd for his master. And his master was a pagan. So if you don't know what that means, guys, pagans worship
They're the ones who don't eat meat, aren't they?
No, that's vegans. The pagans worship the old gods, worship nature and trees and plants and that kind of thing. And
they sound like my kind of people.
Yeah, before Patrick was captured, made into a slave, he wasn't very religious. He says that himself, that he actually didn't really like going to church but then when he was a slave in Ireland, he used to pray every day, and that's when he kind of had an epiphany and decided that that's what he was going to do. So he was captured. He was a slave for 6 years, and then he escaped in 411, went back home, and then went straight to become a monk. He joined the monastery in Lerins in France, south of France. And then he was there for 2 years, and then he went to a different monastery, a bigger one in the town of Auxerre in France.
Great football team.
Yeah, blue top. Yes.
Yeah, back in the
Gibril
noughties.
Cisse. Gibril Cisse.
Yeah.
XS. Yeah.
Yeah, 90s and noughties. They were decent, weren't they?
Yeah.
Was there a white and blue top? Anyway.
Yeah, they're blue with PlayStation 2 logo on it. Iconic. Yeah. Anyway, so he went to Auxerre, and he was a monk there for 14 years, I think.
Right.
Yeah, it says it there. And then after 14 years, he was made a bishop, and he was 38 years old, and he decided, right, I'm going to go back to that place where those pagans were, and I'm going to teach them how to be good people. So that's what happened.
Lovely.
Yeah, he became a bishop, and he immediately went to Ireland, and he decided to make them all better people. And at the beginning, the kind of chieftains in Ireland didn't like him. They were like, "Hey, who are you, man?
Who are you, bro?
Hey, dude, not cool." But it said that because basically that Patrick, he dealt with all kind of conflict and arguments and people being angry with such good humor that everybody basically ended up liking him because he was just too nice to not like. And then he stayed there all his life, founded loads of churches, baptized loads of people, did a load of really good stuff. And then he died on March the 17th, of course, which is why St. Patrick's Day is celebrated on March 17th. We think in the year 461, in a little village called Saul, which is in Northern Ireland. And he was buried in the nearby town of Downpatrick, County Down. Right, I've got my text sorted. Should we jump over and see how Dom's getting on?
Yeah.
Oh, you're done here?
I was doing it. Yeah, I'm all done here. I mean, I was thinking about sort of starting to put some design assets in, if that's all right.
Yeah. Well, do you want to go first then? So that's what's going to go. What we're going to do next is that little gap we've got on the right-hand side of each of our pills. We can put some design assets in, or you could use AI, or you could use photos, but I'm just going to stick to design assets. And, for that first one, I was just thinking of going and finding a design asset and just searching for maybe the word baby. Yeah. Even that first one of the stalk is cool. And I'm just going to...
Oh, that one's got a background. That's such a shame.
Oh, yeah. Well, you could get rid of it, probably.
Actually, that one's good, yeah. I like that one.
Yeah.
Because then you can kind of have it popping over the top. You can make it quite big, actually.
Yeah, and I think what I ended up doing was getting the text in front of the stalk so that
I'm liking that. So in my layer stack here, just need to bring it down until it pops through.
There we go.
Oh yeah. Actually, maybe I'll need to put a little. I could put a little outline.
Oh yeah, in the same green as the shape. That would be cool.
Ooh.
So then
nice idea.
We wouldn't see it until.
Oh, look at that! Tremendous. I'm loving that.
Classy.
I'm loving life right now.
Yeah.
Look at that. It's tremendous. That's my first one. And then I'm gonna do one for here as well. Captured from his home in Wales and taken to Ireland as a slave. Right. So I'm gonna go back to elements. What if I search for Wales?
Oh,
what am I gonna get? Ooh, lovely. I think the first one's probably the best one.
Yeah.
Ooh, hang on a minute though.
Can you remove the background?
Well, yeah, I wonder if I can. It's just loading. You can see it's got that. Oh, is it ready? Once that orange circle there goes, I'll be able to remove the background. But I imagine it'll probably just be the red dragon, which would be no bad thing.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, exactly. But it doesn't seem to be loading very quickly. Oh, God, I've got the. Oh no, it's there. Oh no, it's not. Right, let me try it again.
Oh, what an emotional roller coaster this is.
Yeah, I know. Oh, let me put it in there, and then I'll try and do it in a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go on then.
Okay. Yeah. Right. So I'll do the same then. Right. So elements left on side, design assets, and I'm going to search in here. Now then, can you see, Dom? Look at those cool suggestions. Can you see them?
Oh yeah.
So now that we've been building look how cool these are. They're really good as well. They're really good.
Yeah. Really
good suggestions. Okay, anyway.
They are really good.
None of them are good right now because I want a baby. Got BABY, search. And I think that stalk is cool. So I'm going to grab that. Maybe I could flip it. So here's my stalk. So maybe I'll flip it so that we only see the stalk's kind of head. So I'm going to go position and flip horizontal. And now we can do that kind of thing.
Oh.
Right. And then after two, I put it in the wrong one.
Have you?
Look, I put it in 411.
You're pudding.
Yeah.
So my dad always calls it.
Right. So the next one, capture from his home in Wales and take it to Ireland as a slave. Yeah. So maybe let's go design assets and let's search for something like British Isles. ISLES.
You know, I put Red Dragon in and that got me a good one.
Oh, cool. So I've got British Isles. Here we go. So this would be cool because now I can have Ireland and Wales. That's my plan anyway. Something like that. Yeah, there we go. I like that. And then next one, he escaped and he went to join the monastery in Larne. So, well, look, we got Bible there. Look, rosary. Look at these. These are amazing. So I'm going to use one of these suggestions. Altar. And let's see. Oh, these are great. That first one's brilliant. Thank you. Pop that in there. Okay. And then another one. So something else to do with, monasteries type of thing. Maybe I'll just do pray. Pray. Get we'll have that then. We'll have this.
You got to pray just to make it today. You got to.
Okay, maybe a little rotation on that.
Oh yeah.
And then the last two, well, of course, he went back to Ireland. So here we go. Here are my suggestions. Look. So, Shamrock's a good one. So let's go to Shamrock. Grab one of these. Brilliant. Pop it in. Rotate it around. And then the final one, when he's died, well, what if we just search for something like Angel? Oh, it's searching for that under Shamrock. So I need to just go back out to design assets. There we go. We got loads of options now. There we go. And something like that. And there we go. I'm done. My timeline. Oh, yeah. My timeline is done. Look at that. I'm really pleased with that. I haven't made
looking great.
File, so let's do that right now.
Oh well, I'll put mine on.
Yeah.
While you're doing that, because this is just lovely. I'm loving life. Right. I've got my stalk, and then I went for a red dragon. These are all design assets. Went for a monastery. Just always making sure that the things that I'm putting in are going behind. Well, they're going behind the text. That's important, so you can still read it. So here we got bishop. Maybe I'll go a bishop. Oh wow! Oh, that'd be great. What a great idea!
Well, like a chess piece.
Yeah, I know, but it's actually not a bishop.
Oh yeah, it's the queen. Yeah. Or that first one, you could crop it, couldn't you? You could bring that in, and the one right on the left is a bishop.
Yeah, so that's a decent.
That whole thing in.
Yeah. And then if I zoom in here, just use the side handles.
We just want that guy on the left.
Yeah. There we go. There you go, Your Excellency. That's what you should have said, Your Excellency.
Yeah. To you,
not this guy, Your Excellency. Flipping, eh? No manners. These Welshies have got no manners.
All right, the Excellency on the left. You know what
I mean? And then maybe we'll do a gravestone for the last one.
Yeah.
It's a grave. Oh well, not that scary one.
I mean, it's a good St. Patrick's colour, you know.
Well, it's that. Flipping Nora. I don't think I want any of those. I don't. What about a mummy's tomb?
A sarcophagus.
Blimey.
Yeah.
I'm sort of. I'm
pick one quick.
Sevens now. Yeah. There you go. That one. That'll do.
Oh yeah.
I imagine he's probably got a pretty good one.
Well, he hasn't actually, because it was a long time ago.
Aw.
They do think that it's there, and his name is on a stone, but it's literally just a stone.
Right. Oh well, there
With
you go.
with
I've upgraded him.
yeah, with
on the
his
live
name.
lesson.
His Roman name was Patricius, and that's on the stone. So right. How would we share this amazing? And think, guys, just cast your mind back 45 minutes ago, what this looked like when we started off with a template. Okay, so it just goes to show that, if you want to
some
make
flashback music.
Yeah, you can start off with a template and you can absolutely own it and turn it into your own thing by following the steps we've done today. How would we share this, Dom?
Oh, easy peasy. I mean, you can download it by pressing the download button there. Look at that for some Zoom action.
Oof.
Just go there. And then if you want to print it, PDF print, that's the puppy. And then it's going to do that thing on the screen, blah, 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 blah. And then you can see up here, you've got a share button. Well, I wonder what you do with that. Well, you give it a click, and that's how you share it. And once this thing is downloaded, come on, flipping Nora, then we'll be able to. Oh, I'm just going to cancel that so I can carry on. Cancel download, and then go to share, view only link. You can see it's view only link, and then create link, and then you will be able to send that to anyone who really knows that St. Patrick was in fact a Scotsman.
Welshman. Yeah. Right. Good. So now then, we've reached the halfway point, so we're ready to move on to our second challenge today. Just a reminder, guys, what's coming up is a very good question. And the answer...
I love your apostrophe there. In fact, there is no apostrophe in April Fool's.
Isn't it? Yes, there is. April Fool's Day. April Fool's Day. I think there is. No? My bad. Sorry. Sorry, it's my second language. Unless that's an early April Fool's trick on me.
No, well, I had to check it as well, but because I was wondering about it, but it's like it's not a possessive there.
There we are, guys. Well, he could have told me that, on a call before a live lesson, but he decided.
Well, I'm not a mind reader.
He decided to do it publicly on YouTube. There we are. Doesn't matter.
YouTube.
A public dressing down, I think, is what you call that. Right. So anyway, regardless, we've got Mother's Day coming up. Nothing next week, okay? So we've got Mother's Day coming up. And then the week after that, we've got April Fools. All right, is that better, Dom? Is that better? Yeah, I've corrected it.
Let's finish one of these on time.
So get signed up for those by going to adobe.ly, so adobe/live lessons. Remember as well that we run a load of staff training. We've got loads of new ones ready for you. So if you fancy doing some training, teachers, any staff that you've got in your school, come along. These are all free after school virtual sessions, bit.ly/ace interested. Right. Finally, if you're sharing on social media that you've been taking part in the St. Patrick's Day festivities, then tag us in. We'd love to see your timelines and what we're about to do now. Right. Let's press ahead. Let's get my screen.
This one is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we are going. Yeah, we are going to be celebrating everything Celtic, especially my mouse pointer has disappeared. I can't put
no.
Oh yeah, I got it. Right, we're going to be celebrating everything Celtic by making Celtic knots. Oh, that's your screen.
Yeah, I know.
Here we go. Here's my screen. Right. So, Celtic knots are really interesting. Oh, also, guys, Express School Challenge. Dom, we haven't spoken about Express School Challenge.
We haven't. Well, there's a tutorial on each page. But, I think, okay, go for it.
Yeah, on the challenge page, okay, there is a video there so if any other classes in your school would like to make that timeline, then just share this page with them because there's that video there that you can see that takes them through that. And also, if they'd like to have a go at this, we're going to be making this amazing Celtic knot drawing. Then there's a video there for you as well, okay? Now, the reason we do that is that you could, at the bottom of the page, there's information about the Express School Challenge. So if you get 3 whole classes in your school or 100 children, whichever one of those two is easiest for you, to take part in the activities that we do in our live lessons. It doesn't have to be during the live lesson. It could be, the following days, weeks afterwards. Then that counts as one Express School challenge, which will win you some swag. If you do that 3 times, you get, as Dom told us at the beginning of the session, a pizza party. Yeah, so if you want to do that, you've got the 2 video tutorials for today's activities on the challenge page. Okay, right. Let's make this Celtic knot. Right, over we go. Back to Express. So to start a new project in Express, that's all I needed to do is tap the Express icon up here in the top left-hand corner of the screen. It's the colorful A. It's brought me back to the home page. And we're going to be drawing. So drawing is a little bit hidden on Express, okay? It's on this second row of buttons. It's not one of the big colorful tiles. So just scroll across perhaps and you'll see there drawing. So I'm going to tap on that. It's going to open up the drawing editor. Now we're going to be making a Celtic knot, and Celtic knots use symmetry. They use reflective symmetry and rotational symmetry. And maybe you've been learning a bit about symmetry in your numeracy or your maths lessons, okay? So we're going to be using reflective symmetry, which like drawing in a mirror, and rotational symmetry, where your patterns repeat around a circle. Okay, now, Celtic knots are found all over the Celtic nations of the world, and Ireland has got their own special Celtic knots, like the Dara knot, which is amazing and really complicated, so we're not making one of those today. Right, so my drawing app is slowly firing up. Why don't you, Dom, show everybody how to open up the drawing.
Okie dokie. Right. So you can see that when you come into the home page here, you've got all of these things on the top, but just down here on the next row down, you've got drawing. Give it a clickety-click. It's going to open up here. I think I'll call this one Celtic Knots with the K.
Yeah.
Boom.
Celtic.
Then,
brilliant. Right. Now then, whilst mine, I've just closed my app down and restarted it because it's having a bit of a silly moment. So whilst mine's restarting, Dom, could you paint your canvas, your background for us, please? So go to brush. And then we're going to be using the art supplies brushes today. So if you go to art supplies, these are really cool brushes. So you could try something like a pastel brush, or a French Impressionist brush is always lovely.
French Impressionist, yeah.
And then
I like that.
Just think, so I'm going to be doing an orange background and a blue knot. But if you want to choose a different pair of colors, then you may want to think about that. And then take your brush size up to the max and just totally cover your canvas with your paint. Just totally paint over the whole thing.
I wonder if I could do a little mix of paints as well.
Oh yeah, you definitely could. Yeah.
Maybe I'll just go across here. Maybe I'll go in here and just bring this down a little bit. That was a bit too much. Maybe just a little. I'm just clicking now. You see, just to add a few little highlights.
Lovely.
There we go. There we go. I think that's looking lovely. Actually, just a few little speckles of green and yellow, and that'll be perfect because when I do my Celtic knots, I think I'm going to do mine in sort of the orangey gold you've got there.
Oh yeah, lovely. Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Yeah. How are you looking?
Right. Yeah, good. So here we go. We're here. So I'm going to go to brush in the top left-hand corner, and we want the art supplies brushes. So yeah, I'll do the same as Dom. I think I'm going to grab that French Impressionist brush, and I'm going to go for that dark orange. Brush as big as it goes, and then I'm just scribbling to cover my page with this paint. You can see I'm just brushing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, filling up the whole thing. Now, like Dom just showed us, you could also add some spats.
Oh, we lost him there. Oh, there you go, you're back.
Okay. So if you scroll down, there's another brush in the art supplies a little further down called spatter. This is lovely. Mm-hmm. So you could maybe put a bit of white on there. Just tap, just a couple of taps. My cross is going to be in this dark blue, and I'm actually going to just put a bit of the blue that I'm going to use for my cross around the place as well, just like this. And another one you could use is the chalk brush. So you could use the spatter or the chalk brush and just tap once or twice around the place and add a bit of texture to your page. Right, now then, I want to have a little bit of an empty bit in the middle for my actual Celtic cross. So I'm going to go back to the art supplies, to the watercolor fill brush. This is a really light brush, and I'm going to have some white paint. And with my white paint at the biggest size possible, watercolor fill, I'm just going to start brushing around, and I'm just lightening up the middle there. It's nearly kind of making a spotlight on the stage for my Celtic cross. There we go. Lovely. Happy with that. Right. Let's jump back to Dom, see if he's done any splatters or spats, and give us a bit of a lighter middle.
Yeah. So right, for the lighter middle, I'm going to go to the
watercolor fill.
Watercolor fill. There we go. You can see it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like the watercolor. It's kind of watercolor fill. There's a lot less going on in there, which is good.
Yeah.
It'll give us this kind of dreamy look. Sized all the way up, and then you could just yeah, lovely.
That's what's good about that brush. It takes a long time for it to actually do a lot. Do you know? So you can go quite crazy with it.
Yeah,
there we go.
Yeah,
that's
great.
Nice.
Yeah, lovely. There we go.
Good.
Easy peasy. You got a central stage now.
Great. Right. It's time, guys, for us to get our amazing symmetry tools on. So we need to switch on a reflective symmetry with 4 lines of symmetry. So 1 down, 1 across, and 2 diagonal lines of symmetry. Okay. So to do that, up at the top of the screen, you can see it says symmetry off. So if I tap on that, I'm going to turn the symmetry on, and you can see it's giving me that blue line. That's 1 reflective line of symmetry. So anything I would draw on the left would be repeated on the right. Or you can draw either side of the line, and it'll repeat it on the other side. But I want 4 lines of symmetry. So that's actually the button underneath. You see the reflective, the one that looks like a butterfly, the one right underneath. That's 4 lines of symmetry. And if you look at the blue lines on my screen, you could count them. 1 from top to bottom, 2 going left to right, 3 going diagonally, and 4 going diagonally. So I've got 4 lines of symmetry. Okay, now what we're going to do with these 4 lines of symmetry is I'm going to grab the wet paint brush, which is next door to the watercolor fill brush.
And we're still in art supplies here. If you're struggling to find it, go to art supplies.
Yeah, everything I'm using today is in art supplies because I love these brushes. They're just amazing. So everything's in art supplies. So next door to watercolor fill, you've got wet paint. And now I'm going to pick the color that I'm going to make my knot, which I'm going to go for this darker blue, this royal blue that we've got here. Okay, now then, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this a few times for you to see. Okay, and it takes a couple of attempts sometimes to get it to look perfect. But I'm going to start. Let me just make a dot where I'm going to start. I'm going to start there. Okay, in the top. So I'm doing it in the top right hand triangle. So if you think of all these as triangles, it doesn't matter where you do it. Maybe if you're left-handed, you want to start in the left-hand side, like Dom might want to do. But I'm starting in the top right hand triangle. And it's giving me that dot. And you can see it's repeated that dot all the way around. Now, what I want to do, and just watch what I do now, guys, and I'll do it again a few times. What I'm going to do is come down and make kind of a curving round to the left. I want to make kind of half a horseshoe. And it's going to join at the bottom with the other side. And I'm going to try that. And I'm going to try that a few times. And you'll see that they overlap in really interesting ways. So if you make it a wider horseshoe, you get that kind of shape. If you make it kind of a skinny horseshoe like this, you'll get an interesting shape like that.
Whoa.
But I really just want, a closest you can get to just an actual kind of horseshoe shape. And you only need to draw 1/2 of the horseshoe, of course, because it joins at the bottom with the reflection that's coming down on the other side. Okay, and just take as many attempts as you want. Remember, you've got the undo button at the top of your screen. Have as many goes as you want. so that you're happy with that. Right, let's jump over to Dom and let's see how you're getting on there, Dom.
Okie dokie. Right, so I've gone in, I'm in art supplies. I can go down to wet paint. I'm choosing the orange here. Size 125 seems to be pretty good. Before we get started, we're going to go to symmetry. And then we're going to go to this one here. Oh, it's just gone. As soon as I zoomed in, it went. This one here, give that a click. And then I can zoom back into my canvas here. And like Mr. Jones said, you can click here and you can see where that is. And roughly, you want to be doing something like this, I think.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah. So let me just see if I can trace those lines. Like if I started here.
Yeah, that's it. Like half a horseshoe. Yeah. I don't know how else to explain the shape, really.
All the way down to the middle there. That was good. I mean, that's gone a bit wide, maybe, but it doesn't really matter.
No,
so
it's
maybe
cool.
I'll just go a little bit round the edge and come into there.
Yeah, all of them are great. Yeah.
Ooh, look, and you can kind of play around with it if you keep your finger down the trackpad. Beautiful. Whoa, that is crazy. I like it there. That's my one.
Brilliant. Okay, so that's the first shape for our Celtic knot. There's one other step, because whenever you look at Celtic knots, you'll notice sometimes you see them and you're like, wow, that is mesmerizing. I don't understand what's happening. But what's happening usually is there's a really simple shape like this. This is just basically a horseshoe shape. And then that's what makes it a Celtic knot, is that a part of this shape then connects to a part of another shape in an interesting way. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line now from this. Tell you what, let me do this with a different color paint so you can see what I'm talking about. Right, so I'm going to start off. Actually, I'm going to turn my symmetry off. You don't need to turn your symmetry off, guys. I'm just doing it to show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to start there. Okay. And then I'm going to draw a line down, and I want to kind of get to there, halfway through that loop where those two shapes have crossed. And as I do that, the symmetry will join this way with me. Okay? So that's all I'm going to do is draw down like that. Right, let me undo all of that, put my symmetry back on, and get my blue paint so that we can do that. Okay. Symmetry back on, blue paint. Right. So you know what I'm starting now. Starting up here in that top triangle on that kind of spike that's up there on its own. And I'm going to curve it back down into the middle of that kind of, what would you call that? Like an oval, that closed oval. Mm-hmm. And as I do that, that line's going to come to meet me from the next triangle around. Like that.
Cool.
Okay. We do that again. Start there, down I come, and it'll come to meet you from the reflection. Okay, and there we have our Celtic knot. Right, go on then, Dom. You ready?
Yeah, I think I've just been playing around for the entire time. Basically.
That's what.
So I think
that's great.
Yeah.
Playing around is what it's all about.
Yeah. So we can start off here, for example.
Yeah.
And then you want to click in one of these and bring them together.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's lovely.
Yeah. But just playing around is fun. Let me just do that first one again.
Ooh. Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah.
That's a lovely one.
That's lovely. And close that off.
Yeah, I'm going to join that up. So the two bits I'm going to join in are these kind of pigtails here.
Yeah.
And you want to kind of easy to do. If you can zoom in and look at one segment, and then that maybe makes it easier.
And just aim for the middle of that loop. Oh, that is cool.
Yeah.
Beautiful, Dom. I love that.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? What a lovely little tutorial this is.
Right, cool. Right. Okay. Now then, these knots, if you ever see these, they're sometimes carved. They're often carved, but sometimes they're kind of actually tied in knots with like rope or whatever. So obviously, when you've got a knot, one part of this line, every time it intersects, one bit needs to be on top and one bit needs to be underneath. Yeah. So if you think of this as one long string, every time the string crosses itself, it either needs to go over or under. And what we want to do is to alternate whether they go over or under. Now, you could do that, with a no symmetry, but to save time, if we use rotational symmetry, it's going to do that for us. Now, we don't want to use reflective symmetry this time, because what you'll have is you'll have over and over next to each other. So let's change our symmetry to two lines of rotational symmetry. So I've gone back to my symmetry menu and I'm going to go to rotational, and you can see this fourth one along there is 4 lines of rotational symmetry. Okay, now then, what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to grab some white paint, okay, and I want a kind of a thinner paint brush. So something like the pencil or the fine pen would be fine. Okay, something really skinny. So I'm going to go, I'll go for the pencil in white. Now then, let me, that was a good tip you had there, Dom. I'm going to zoom in. Now, it doesn't matter where you start. You just need to start somewhere. Now then, you see this intersection I've got here, this cross. Yeah?
Yeah.
I need to decide, right, is this over or under? So I'll go over this time. So starting from left to right, let me zoom more in on it. There we go. I want this to go over. So what I need to do, if it's going over, is I need to add some white lines like that. Okay? So you can see now that piece of string is going over the one that, and you can see now this one's on top and the one that's coming down is underneath. Right. Now, the next intersection should be the opposite. So this time, the string I'm following is going to be under. So I need to cut across like that. The pattern. So if we're following from the left-hand side here, so it's going over, under. Right, and now we come to the next intersection. So this time it's going to go over. So oops, that's a bit messy.
And it kind of doesn't matter either way, as long as it's different each time.
Yeah, just alternate them, over. And then it doesn't intersect again then until we come up to the top of the loop and back down to this one. So over, so this one's going to go under. And now we're actually back on ourselves. Over, round, under. So we are done there. And because of the rotational symmetry, it's actually done that all the way around your Celtic knot.
Very cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can see if we'd have used reflective symmetry, that top bit there would be reflected down below, which wouldn't be right. But you can see because we've used rotational symmetry this time, we've got it alternating in a cool way. Right, so
very nice.
Do your intersections then, Dom, with just a bit of white paint and doing over and under, over and under.
Right, so in art supplies still, I can go to my pencil brush, make it white. I'm bringing it down to 1, I think. And then I went to my symmetry and I changed it to, it doesn't like zooming.
Yeah. That's
rotational, that one there. So it's got the 4,
the
2 lines even. Yeah. And then, so you need to, let's zoom into one section.
Yeah, good idea.
Okie dokie, right. So what I'll say is when this string is coming over the top, well, I'm calling it string, it's not necessarily string.
Yeah.
But I
think it's too skinny.
Too skinny. I thought you were at number 1, actually. Let's have a look here. There we go.
Yeah, that's good.
That's the top. And then also the top on there as well. Cool.
That's good. Good.
And then, so on this one, so hang on, that'll go under. So this one needs to go across here and across there. And then on this one, it'll go over the top. So we'll go bish, and we'll go bash, and then we'll go round, 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 and then that will need to go under. Boom. There we go. And then that, yeah, look at that. Lovely. Yeah. You could play with this all day, couldn't you? You really could. Like before, I was just on, and now that we've got kind of a different brush now.
Oh, whoa, Dominic.
I know, it's like, whoa, it just does mental things. That didn't really work. That's kind of nice, though.
Yeah, and
it's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, you just keep trying and stuff and doing it.
Yeah.
Definitely. You know.
Yeah, you've got to just do one or two things, haven't you? And then you'll.
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah.
You could try different colors as well, couldn't you? You could have alternating colors.
That's an excellent idea. Yeah. Yeah, you could go for a goldie. If you want to keep sort of those Irish kind of color themes, and go in and see what it's like.
That's very cool.
Yeah, it sort of looks like a butterfly, I suppose. But yeah, what a great little thing. How do you share these? Shall I download this one?
Yeah, so you can download it. Also, remember, we have got a couple of minutes, so I don't know whether, Dom, you want to show everyone how you'd bring this into a normal canvas on the all-in-one editor, and maybe put Happy St. Patrick's Day on it or something like that?
Yeah, that's a good idea. So to do that, you could, you don't even have to download it or anything. You just go to the A in the top left, and then say like you were going to go and, press the plus and go for a little square. You're just going to do a little St. Patrick's square. Now that that's done, I would name this, but let's just not for now. You can go to your stuff on the left-hand side, and then you can see down in your files here, if I get rid of that, you can see that you've got your Celtic knots.
Yeah.
Give it a click, and it goes straight in there. Amazing. And then you can, zoom it up. Because we chose a square on this one, so it's a square on this too. And then after you've got that, you can put some text in, and then Happy St. Patrick's Day. And then you can start playing around with that however you like.
I tell you what, if a school wants to print these out and put them up on the wall, please send us a picture, like a big.
Oh, that'd be great, wouldn't it?
Tiled mosaic of all of the classes' Celtic knots. That would be amazing.
Wouldn't that be incredible?
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, exactly. So there's all sorts of stuff you can do with this. I mean, maybe actually I don't want it to be so big, because maybe we want to make sure we can see the Celtic knot. You see. Suppose we want Patrick's to be as big as possible, don't we? St. Patrick's rather than Happy and Day. Oh, some of these are nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the one before, what did we choose before? It was
Puff. What was it? Puffy. What was it?
Oh, Dinah Puff.
Yeah, Dinah Puff. What a font! What a font!
What a font! Yeah,
the king of
amazing.
Font.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you have to start messing around. I mean, you could go into your theme, you see, and do the thing that you did before, so like green, gold, orange, and then start, working with those kind of. Yeah, lovely.
Oh, that's lovely. I love the color. That green color.
Yeah, it works well. And then you can just mess around. Yeah, I really like that. That was a great one. Do you know what? You can close this out. I'm just messing around now.
Yeah, cool.
I'm just having fun. So you can sort out the rest of it while I'm having fun.
Yeah, no worries. Well, we'll keep Dom's screen up because it's nice to see what he's doing there. But thanks for coming along, guys. I hope you've had fun. Now, please do remember that if you've got other classes in your school that would like to take part in one or both of these activities, that they are there for you on the challenge page. So that's all you need to do is go along. It's at the bottom of the screen there. Share that challenge page with the other teachers in your school. Adobe.ly/Patrick25. And there's 2 short videos there. They're less than 10 minutes each. that'll show other classes how to do the timeline activity and also how to make their own Celtic cross. Have a lovely St. Patrick's Day on Monday and have a good day off. I hope you're going to do something nice and relax on your day off. Remember to get signed up. Oh, yes, I love that hat, Dom. Now we're talking.
Yeah.
He's next leveling it. Remember to get registered for the sessions we've got coming up. Mother's Day, April Fools. And I tell you what's around the corner is Titanic anniversary as well.
I do enjoy that one, although it's sad. I do enjoy it a lot, actually.
Yeah. Well, thanks very much for joining us. Thanks for saying hello on the email today as well. And we'll see you on another live lesson before long. I think Dom's going to be doing this for the rest of the afternoon. All right. Nice to see you. Bye.
Bye.